G'day gorgeous people, I'm by the front door. That means that it is time to go. Oh my goodness, you have no idea how excited I am to start this brand new travel adventure. We are leaving at the worst possible time because today is Coronation Day and His Royal Highness King Charles III is literally just walking in the Abbey right now. But I have to leave because my flight is leaving in exactly 3 hours and I need to get to the airport, check in, check out a couple of lounges, have a few bites to eat and just luxuriate and have champagne and cocktails. So, as you all recall, I'm on a marathon journey from here to London and I am about to start my timer. So, here we go.
This is Future Tim here, and I'd like to apologise in advance for my pet budgies you hear in my voiceover. They are very vocal. Welcome back to my favourite place in the whole wide world, Melbourne Tullamarine Airport. Only reason being, whenever I'm here, it means I'm jet setting off to someplace more exciting. Tonight, I'm heading to Terminal 2, or the International Terminal. I'll be checking in at Gate N for my business class flight on Cathay Pacific to Hong Kong, then first class onto Paris. When I first booked these flights, Cathay were originally flying the Airbus A350, which is the 3-config aircraft, business, premium and economy. But 1 month out, they did an equipment change to a 777, which is a 4-class config aircraft, including first class. After getting through security, I'm now heading to the American Express Centurion Lounge. It is one of 2 Centurion branded lounges in Australia, one here in Melbourne and the other in Sydney. The American Express lounges underwent a branding exercise recently and are now called the Centurion Lounges. Eligible cards include highest tier Amex card Centurion, which is the card I hold, Platinum, and Delta SkyMiles Reserve Amex. Note that the Cathay Pacific Lounge no longer exists and all business and first class passengers are directed to the Qantas business or first class lounges, which in my opinion are superior. As a Centurion card holder, I'm actually eligible to bring in 2 guests for no greater than 3 hours before flight departure, which is not going to be a problem tonight as it's currently 9:40 p.m. and the lounge closes at 10 p.m. Don't believe the signage or Google that says they close at 11 p.m. To me, this is rubbish as normally I take the red-eye flights when departing Australia. Meaning the last 3 international flights I've had significantly reduced service from the Amex lounge due to the early closing hours. Thankfully, I've been lucky to have access to the premium cabin airline lounges in lieu.
It's 1 hour and 41 minutes since I left home. I'm here in the American Express Centurion Lounge, Melbourne International Airport. They close at 10 o'clock, 10 p.m, so we're 15 minutes before they shut. I didn't realise this is my first time since the rebrand from American Express to Centurion Lounge, and they gave me a special Centurion menu, which had Perrier champagne and a few kind of single malt, older vintage whiskey, and I don't drink whiskey, so I can't start this holiday without a champagne, so this is the first of many bubbles I'm going to be having.
The Centurion Lounge, like the Qantas Business Lounge and Singapore Airlines Silver Crest lounges, is located in what I call the dungeon. You head downstairs opposite Gate 9. There are no windows, no natural lighting. It is an intimate space with no windows or lounge washroom facilities. If you need the toilet, you need to head out of the lounge by a side door, which we just walked past, to facilities which are shared with the Plaza Premium Lounge. All the food and beverage here is complimentary, and unlike US bars, you don't need to tip the bartenders here. This footage I recorded of the last time I visited this lounge when it was still branded the American Express Lounge and comped my entire family, even though we were all flying premium with Singapore Airlines and Malaysia Airlines. Admittedly, back in 2022, Malaysia Airlines PAX had to use the terrible Mahaba lounges. So this American Express lounge, even though small, was a welcome relief. I can't really talk much about catering in this lounge as you can see, the offering is rather limited.
The champagne of many. So, Slauncher. Oh. And being a Centurion member, you get given a little welcome pack, but they don't have that tonight. But I got myself this really nice soft baby car Italian leather passport pack, passport holder. Ooh, that's lovely, that's really nice. I just realised that this camera is very close. You're seeing a very large look off my face. Oh my god, I can see pores. I've got an invitation here to the Qantas International First Class Lounge. So after I have my champagne here, I'm going to go and have the signature cocktail at the First Class Lounge. Maybe have some calamari, salt and pepper calamari. And hopefully the lounge spa is still open. If it's still open, I'm going to go for a massage.
After a brief visit to the Centurion Lounge, I was truthfully only there to see what changes were made as part of the rebrand. I headed to my all-time favourite lounge in all of Melbourne Airport. That's the Qantas First Class Lounge. Located away from the dungeon on level 3, you can find lifts to the left and escalators directly ahead near gates 9 and 10. Unlike the Sydney First Class Lounge, the Melbourne Lounge is compact but showcases the best seats in the entire airport. Alas, at 10:40 p.m, the spotting opportunities were limited to this Jetstar 320, 737 Qantas, and AirAsia Airbus A330. Large oakwood dividers separate the distinct zones. You're welcomed by dark, deep-seated leather armchairs and sofas to the left and red on the right. As you head further down, it opens up to the dining area. At night, it's dim and intimate. During the day, it is showered in the most fabulous natural lighting. My favourite thing in the entire lounge is this old school split number and text destination board. The click-clack sound at the entry and time changes is so nostalgic. I've eaten at this lounge many times and my go-to dishes are always the salt and pepper calamari and pavlova. On this occasion though, I wasn't too hungry, especially considering it was rather late and I had an upcoming Cathay flight and expecting delicious Cantonese catering. So I only ordered the salt and pepper calamari and a jet setter cocktail. Soft, tender, and incredibly Moorish. I really should have ordered a double serving. The calamari cooked to perfection, but the absolute hero in this dish is the sublime dipping sauce. Tangy, salty, and spicy. It was so good, I ignored the mayonnaise. If Qantas ever considered bottling this dipping sauce, I would be buying it by the litre. That was a delicious snack, just enough to whet the appetite for my upcoming flight. It would not be a Tim video without an obligatory washroom walkthrough. The Qantas First Class Lounge uses Lagaia unedited skincare products, which can also be found in the First Class Amenities Kit. Kept impeccably clean, you expect nothing less from a Qantas lounge.
There's only another 15 to 30 minutes here in the First Class Lounge before I have to head off to, I don't even know what gate I'm in. Seriously, I need to stop drinking and I need to start hydrating. I need to go and get more water. But I probably have another 20 minutes before I have to head to my gate and my CX flight starts boarding for Hong Kong.
I'd just like to add that the first class concierge at the front desk was just beautiful. As I was leaving, she stepped out from behind the desk and escorted me to the door and wished me well for my onward journey. This is how it's done.
I'm now headed to gate 18, which is probably one of the furthest gates away. But I need to walk off the salt and pepper calamari, the champagne, and the cocktails I've had so far. Oh.
I'd like to quickly explain how this and the next few videos are going to work. This video you're watching right now is focusing on my overall journey from Melbourne to London, my lengthy layover in Hong Kong, and how I'm going to survive this rigorously long commute with a heavy emphasis on food and beverage. I'll be releasing 2 additional videos specifically on the business class Cathay Pacific flight between Melbourne and Hong Kong, and then the first class flight between Hong Kong and Paris, focusing on the hard and soft offerings in the coming weeks. As mentioned earlier, when I first booked these flights, this sector was originally on an Airbus A350-900, but an equipment change now sees a Boeing 777-300 taking me to Hong Kong. Boarding commenced a few minutes behind schedule. I would like to point out that the business class line was actually double the length of the economy line. So much so, a few economy packs was happy to, and surprised when they were asked to move to the shorter line. You will see one of the 2 upcoming flights will ultimately become the best flight I have ever taken in my entire life. Be sure to keep watching. considering how many cocktails and champagne I've had tonight so far in all the lounges, I need the vitamin C and the hydration. Salut. We were offered champagne, orange or apple juices. As you saw, I chose orange. This was followed quickly by a very hot towel service. I think I'll be very happy in the seat for the next 9+ hours. Pushback was roughly half an hour behind schedule, but seeing as I had a 17-hour transit in Hong Kong looming, I wasn't perturbed. Served, and I cannot tell you how amazing this smells. Now, I've pre-ordered this through the website, similar to Singapore Airlines Book the Cook or Book the Chef, just far more limited selection. I've got a post-takeoff champagne, Salut, Tattanger, and a Perrier sparkling water. Got a bread roll. It's a wholemeal bread roll, so it's healthy. Oh, butter. Cannot tell you enough how important it is to have butter and not margarine. The roll is warm. Oh. I'm gonna firstly try the shiitake mushroom. I love shiitake mushrooms. Let's try a little bit of that chicken. So you can taste the soy, the sesame oil, the garlic, the chili. In-flight Tim, don't forget about the oyster sauce. Oyster sauce is the main ingredient. I cannot quite remember the exact name of the dish, but if you have the option to order this, it is really, really tasty. Now let's try a little bit of that with some rice. Oh, the bowl of rice is hot. The chicken is all thigh meat, so it's moist. I'm not a fan of baby corn, never have been, but it's still crispy. I'm really sleepy, but I'm glad I decided to stay up and actually have this meal because it is so tasty. This reminds me of Mum. This is good, wholesome home cooking.
We're currently 5 hours and 20 minutes into our marathon journey to London. It is almost 1:24 in the morning and I am absolutely knackered. The seatbelt sign is still on because we did hit a tiny bit of turbulence as we entered into South Australia. I do want to go to the washroom. I'm contemplating whether I should change into my pajamas. I did bring some pajamas. I'm thinking, I think I will get changed into my pajamas, but I can't be stuffed. I'm so tired. But anyway, this is a really, really comfortable flat bed. There's a very, very thin mattress topper and a really decent thick duvet. But the problem is the cabin is actually quite warm. I may not need the duvet.
Yes, I did pull myself out of that very comfy bed and change into my jammies. The cabin was just getting too warm and I was starting to sweat. Even though I changed after a meal service, the washroom facilities were impeccably clean, as you would expect from a Cathay flight. Instead of sleeping, I decided to play Bejeweled for the next 5 hours. I maybe got an hour or so shut-eye in between. Time was literally flying by. I was just enjoying my CX experience way too much to sleep. Before I knew it, the sun was starting to rise and breakfast service was getting prepped.
We're 2 hours out of landing in Hong Kong, so the breakfast service has started, and I selected the Chinese menu option. We have a bowl of fruits with orange, grapefruit, watermelon, cantaloupe, and some blueberries, orange juice, and filtered coffee. The main dish is congee or rice porridge. I love congee. It is like eating a warm hug. But this congee, there's 2 large prawns and some fish. And then on the side, we have some stir-fried noodles. One of my favorite things is this Guilin style chili sauce. It is so earthy, it is so spicy, it is so yummy. I add this to everything. To make this porridge perfect, it would have been amazing with salted duck egg or century egg. That would have just made it perfect. Coffee is very much needed. Oh, that's filtered coffee. Oh, that is so good. Oh my god, the sun is rising and the view is stunning. It's actually very well seasoned, but I'm going to add a little bit of this Guilin style chili sauce just to give it a bit of a umami and spicy kick. Just a little bit, just a dollop, not much. That's good. Let's try some of that noodle. The container holding the noodle is a bit small, so I've just pulled some up and the rest is just overflowing. It's a little lacking in flavor, which is why there's this Guilin style sauce to give it flavor. Oh yes. Now let's try that. That Guilin chili sauce is amazing. Oh, I'd smother that on everything. Seriously, if you see rice porridge or congee or chop or moi on the menu, you have to order it. That's a huge, huge prawn. Even though I've got 17-hour transit in Hong Kong, this is going to set me up right. After I finished the porridge, I put the noodles into the bowl and absorb the last remnants of the porridge. And then I could actually eat it a lot easier, added more of the chili sauce. Perfect. My mouth is tingling slightly now because of the chili sauce. It is so good. I just got Hong Kong style milk tea. Oh, that's the taste of Hong Kong. Strong tea, sweet, creamy.
The cabin crew allowed all packs to finish their meals and drinks till the very last moment and then prepared the cabin for landing. Unlike some airlines, where they would clear everything 40 minutes prior to landing. The audio stuffed up and I was inaudible, so I'm going to voice over here. We have landed into Hong Kong International Airport. It is now 13 hours and 10 minutes since I left home, and I'm still smiling. Admittedly, I've had an amazing flight. A comfortable seat, delicious food, and incredible crew. What more can you ask for? For my first time flying Cathay Pacific, they're truly turning it out. Thank you so much. See you next flight. Okay, something to note, because my flight arrived at 7:20 in the morning, most of the shops are not yet open.
which is fine because I need to just find a smoking lounge because I am needing a vape. Probably not the healthiest thing to do when you're in Hong Kong International Airport is to go for a smoke. I used to be a smoker. In fact, I used to smoke a pack a day. I now have converted to e-cigarettes, which is illegal in Hong Kong, which is the reason why I am not entering into Hong Kong. Because I don't want my vapes to be confiscated, and A, it's also illegal. So if you are looking for a smoking lounge, there is one above gate 10, head up to level 1.
It is currently 14 hours and 30 minutes since I left home, and I'm at the Hong Kong International Airport Sky Garden having a sneaky vape.
I'm just seated here in these seats. It is 8:10 in the morning in Hong Kong, had 2 massive meals, drank a lot, but I kept hydrated. I still feel quite good. Only thing is, I'm sweating a lot. I'm wearing black long sleeve top, thick black jeans. Not very good for high humidity and 26 degrees Celsius outside. So I'm glad I'm staying at Hong Kong Airport and not heading into Hong Kong. Another reason I'm standing here by the window, there's a really, really cool air conditioning vent just above. And it's just blowing down, it's not too cold, but I just need to de-sweat. It is really, really humid in here. I'm sweating, I've got pants on. Oh, I need to have a shower, cool down, and hopefully not smell. I hope I don't smell. I'm sorry to all the people who have to walk around me. I hope I don't have a stench. You are not shy of eateries. Lots of places to eat around here. So even if you don't have lounge access, I think you're good to go. Oh, literally, Gordon Ramsay's food to go. I mean, Hong Kong is a foodie country, so it stands to reason that you're going to have lots of options. What's doodles? Duddles? What is that? Is that Western? It is so warm, but I am here at the wing business class side. I had to make my way here to the noodle bar because this is just such a classic Hong Kong lounge. You must always make your way to the noodle bar and get a bowl of the wonton noodles. Look, I love dang dang noodles like everyone else, but for me, Hong Kong is synonymous with wonton noodles or wonton mee. Added a massive teaspoon of chiu chow chili oil as well, just to give it a little bit of extra seasoning and a bit of spice. Itadakimasu. Sublime. That is absolutely stunning. It is delicious, it is rich, it is sweet, it is fully developed, and it is the perfect vehicle for that noodle. Now I'm hoping it's al dente. Let's see. Perfect egg noodles, cooked to perfection. There's still a bit of chew or QQ to it. That spiciness from the chiu chow chili oil is just perfect. Now, let's try that wonton. Oh my god, the wontons are huge. Look at that, look at that, it's massive. I ate a bit of my hair. juicy, fresh. If I was being overly critical, maybe slightly overcooked. Just ever so slightly. But for me, the wonton mee is that soup and that noodle. Oh. I can't remember the Cantonese. What is it? Holsek. Holsek. Is it very good? Nice to eat? If you know your Canto, leave a comment below how I should say it's delicious. Holsek. Okay. Now, I've got the chicken thal. I split it in half. There's hardly anything in there. No, not for me. No, it's a bit claggy. 16 hours and 8 minutes since I left home. I feel I'm going to put so much weight on before I even get to Europe. But when you're in Hong Kong, you eat. You can't come to Hong Kong and not have dim sum. No. I'm not too sure what it is, they're not really named, but this one looks like chai koi, which is in Malaysia, it's like a vegetable dumpling, and usually it has Chinese turnip, which is really sweet and crunchy, and then maybe depending on what it is and who makes it, there might be dried shrimp. This one looks like siu mai, but with beef. It's beef siu mai. Oh my god. Hong Kong does the best dim sum. Not claggy, even though it's probably been sitting there for a while. It is still so fresh. You don't need any soy with it, but it's just perfectly seasoned. Oh, perfect. We are now at the wing first class side. Let's see if there is to eat. Still hungry.
What's wrong with them? I don't understand. Maybe it will pass by. Someone save me before I pass out. I'm too lonely to be done. I'm a drink at this place. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Why am I the only one who's left in the rain with nobody to hold on to? Why am I the only one who's feeling this pain when there should be?
Isn't that glorious? Did you hear that? There's been torrential, like almost typhoon-like rains here. Earlier, like I stupidly had all my cameras in my bag, but it was bucketing down like cats and dogs. It was Armageddon-like, and it looks like potentially it might be going off again. I hope it clears before my flight at midnight. Fingers crossed.
After walking around the airport and unable to have a vape as security had secured the doors due to heightened risk of lightning, I returned to the wing first class lounge and went to the Haven. This is the dedicated restaurant for first class passengers. The menu is incredibly impressive. I wanted to order everything, but I have such limited available space in my stomach. So for entree, I ordered the Szechuan hot and spicy dumplings. For main, I had the braised beef brisket, and for dessert, I had the papaya and white fungus sweet soup. All washed down with sparkling water and many glasses of the Framingham Pinot Noir from New Zealand.
Oh my god. Seriously, the most amazing dumplings I've had. They're hot and they're spicy, but there's a slight sweetness to it, and it's perfectly salty. It is every perfect element. Wow. I've eaten a lot of dumplings in my time. I mean, I've eaten so much I actually am looking like a dumpling. But this has to rate as seriously some of the best dumplings I've ever had. This is mind-blowing. I know a lot of people say that you pair a white with dumplings, but I've got this Marlborough, New Zealand Pinot Noir, and it just pairs so well with something spicy. Now there is Szechuan peppercorns in here as well, which means that it gives you that tingle, that almost numbing feeling in your mouth. It's a slippery little sucker, so much so that I actually have to impale it. Oh. Seriously, immense. Highly recommend do not wear light coloured clothes. Malaysia Airlines First Class Lounge have their nasi lemak. Qantas First Class Lounge have their pavlova and their salt and pepper calamari. In my opinion, Cathay Pacific First Class here in the Haven has this sweet and spicy, or is it spicy, hot and spicy dumplings? Spectacular. I was actually going to get the soup, but this, I was tossing up between the black cod and the beef brisket, and I initially thought that I was going to have like buyer's remorse. You're not buying anything because all the food's included, but looking at this now and smelling it, I'm so glad I got the beef brisket instead. It comes with a side of jasmine rice. Okay, look at that. It looks so tender. Oh my god. It is melt in your mouth. You could gum that. You don't need teeth. That is heavenly. You can tell that it's been stewed for so long. It's on the verge of just melting. So much soy, this oyster sauce. It's just packed with umami goodness. Oh my lord. That piece of meat is incredible, but the hero is that gravy. You need to add that to the rice, and then eat the rice. Transcendent. I seriously thought you cannot get any better than that hot and spicy dumpling, but wow, Cathay Pacific, well done. I initially thought I was going to struggle with 17-hour transit, but you know what? I've already been here for 5, almost 6 hours, and I fear that the time is actually going so quickly. I'm all like, I can't believe it. It's like, before I know it, 10:30 p.m., which is our boarding time, is going to be above us. Wow. Oh, that potato. Potato. I don't know what that is because it doesn't have that kind of that. It's almost like winter melon.
So light, it doesn't have that waxy yet fluffiness of the potato.
If ever there was an excuse to climb the frequent flyer ladder or to fly first class, this is it. Wow, this is sublime.
If I wasn't in public, I would lick this bowl and I would lick that bowl. It is so good. It was so good. I actually had to tell the concierge, though, the restaurant F&B manager, it is sublime.
Dessert has arrived and it's a traditional old school dessert. It is warm, it's not cold. So it's got a sweetened ginger syrup with fresh papaya or pawpaw. There's dried longan and there's white fungus. I love white fungus. So I also love black fungus, which you have in savory dishes. White fungus you have in sweet dishes. Those who are not familiar with Asian desserts may struggle with this because it's a textural challenge. It can be quite slimy and sometimes a little crunchy. I know I'm not selling it, but I grew up eating this and I love it. Itadakimasu. This is really good because it's not too sweet. I know some of you are going to laugh at this, especially you, Brody and Leanne, but this is specifically Normally this dish is too sweet, but this one is perfect. It's just a healthy balance between the natural flavors of all the ingredients, the sweetness from the papaya, and a tiny bit of sugar in the syrup, but not too much. It's a very, very good balance. This is the perfect end to a spectacular lunch. Seriously, Hong Kong is a culinary destination, and to think that I'm having this incredible food experience in an airport.
The Centurion Lounge in Hong Kong can be found near Gate 60 in Terminal 1 on the 7th floor. This lounge was the very first international lounge for Amex outside of the USA. This space is broken up into two sections. The main area that you see here is for use by Platinum and Delta Sky Miles holders, and then a dedicated Centurion only section. I will only be talking about my food experience in the Centurion only room, as I didn't try the options out in the Platinum section. The menu is designed by Lau Yu Fai, executive chef at the 2 Michelin-starred restaurant in the Intercontinental Hong Kong.
I'm here at the American Express Centurion Lounge in the Centurion section, and I've ordered myself some pretty bougie snacks. Got myself a lovely champagne. Salut! Oh, that's actually a beautiful drop. That is so smooth, so sweet, lovely. And of course, you can't have a starter without caviar. So I got myself some caviar. Ooh, look at that. Yep. Put on some of the creme fraiche, some of the caviar on top of the beanies. Oh my god, I need a lot more of the caviar. Caviar is cut with what looks like butter. At home, because I love caviar so much, at home I actually have a mother of pearl spoon specifically for caviar. Following that, I have a noodle soup, but it's fish maw sea cucumber noodle soup. And firstly, it looks like it's also got wonton noodles. I'm going to taste that broth. It's sweet, very well seasoned, very seafoody. You can taste the ocean because of the sea cucumber and the fish maw. The sweetness probably comes from the goji berries or the wolfberries, and the spring onions. Ooh, this is the sea cucumber. It's very slippery little sucker. They're actually very difficult to get, even in real life. That's the sea cucumber. It's going to be chewy, gelatinous, and it would have absorbed all that delicious broth. Oh, it's a textural masterpiece. It is chewy. It's like eating jello, like hardened jello. And that fish maw. Once again, it's like savory jello, but not as chewy as the sea cucumber. So I've just eaten so much food, so I'm so glad that the serving sizes are small. I'll slather it on.
Another time check! It is 21 hours and 24 minutes since I left home, and I am here in the American Express Centurion shower, refreshing myself. I've just brushed my teeth, I had a gorgeous shower, I feel clean again. Oh, I've washed off all the dirt, the sweat, hopefully the stench. So, I don't know if you can see it, but it's all amazing L'Occitane products. So, shampoo, conditioner, body wash, body lotion. I feel refreshed, I feel clean again, but it's probably not going to be long before I get sweaty, because I'm going to head out after this. I'm just going to walk around and I'll probably start sweating.
but then I will return to the wing first class lounge and hopefully be able to book in a cabana and just relax in there. Fingers crossed.
Wow, I can't believe it. It's 3:45 p.m. now, which means that I've been here. I'm really bad with maths. I arrived at 7:30 a.m. It's 3:45. I've been here a long time. Despite the time I've already been here and the fact that I've still got another huge trench of time here at Hong Kong Airport, I'm still smiling. I'm still having a bloody good time. And here's the thing though, I will admit, I am very privileged because I've spent most of my time in lounges. So, there goes my bag. I've spent most of my time in the American Express Centurion lounge, the wing business and the wing first class. I feel incredibly lucky.
It's currently 24 hours and 5 minutes since I left home, and I'm here in the Cathay Pacific First Class Lounge wing cabana room. It is, wow, next level. Singularly the most incredible lounge experience I've had thus far. And I've flown first class and suites with many airlines. This is just next level. In fact, I'd go so far as to say that it's the best first class experience I've had. And that also beats, when I say first class, even Singapore Airlines suites, because I've flown Singapore Airlines suites and they've got nothing like that. The private room is lovely, but it's nothing like this. You are allocated 1.5 hours per visit. It's well worth it. I've had a lovely bath, I've had a lovely shower. Oh, I've freshened up. I've got another 20 minutes and then I've got to give this up. But then I'll head out into the main area, grab a drink, maybe a bite to eat. And yeah. And then I've only got another 4 hours here in Hong Kong before I head off to Charles de Gaulle, Paris. I've spent 8 to 9 hours in Singapore Changi Airport, and for some reason that dragged. Time is flying here in Hong Kong. That means I'm actually enjoying every moment of it. Admittedly though, I've been to a lot of lounges. I've been to all the Cathay Pacific Business and First Class Lounge. I've been to the Centurion American Express Lounge. I've been pretty much up and down every single concourse. And I've met my step count for the day. It's the same Pinot Noir from the Marlborough region of New Zealand that I had at lunchtime, and I know I loved that Pinot Noir at lunchtime. So, salut! For dinner number one, I've got a green salad with avocado, a coq au vin, and 2 orange roughies. Let's try that orange roughie. The orange roughie, really nice, flaky fish, white, under seasoned. Not seasoned well at all. In fact, there's no seasoning. But the fish itself is delicious. It's a meaty fish. It's not a fishy fish. Chicken is very dry. Even though it's thigh, it is so dry. Almost inedible dry. means the wine's good. It is now officially 27 hours and 36 minutes since I left home. I've taken one car, 2 airports, 1 aircraft, about to jump on another aircraft. I've had 2 showers, 1 bath, brushed my teeth 3 times. I've eaten way too much. I am knackered, but I'm still smiling because if I don't, I'm gonna cry and I'm gonna fall asleep. I'll probably fall asleep the second I get on the plane, but I know it's gonna be a feast. So I've got to stay up. Okay, I've got to stay up because I've also got to reacclimate to the time in France and in the United Kingdom. So at the moment, it's 2:42 in the afternoon in London. So I've got to stay up for quite a few hours here. At least 8 hours I've got to stay up. Oh. Yeah, this cart with wheels at the bottom. Very nice. Oh, I will. Wish you enjoy the flight with us, CX261, 7 May 2023. Little touches like this. And this is sparkling jasmine tea. I've never had this before. Salut. Oh my god. It tastes exactly like jasmine tea. It's unsweetened, but only fizzy. Oh wow. Crew Vintage 2004 Slauncher. Nuts, we've got almonds, pistachios, and macadamia. Oh my god, they're warm, they're really warm. The cashews, almonds, and pistachio. Starting the meal service, and of course with the crew champagne. That is just so fresh and bright. And then we've got an amuse-bouche to start the meal off. Some avocado and some prawns. Oh my god. That is lovely. Creaminess of the avocado. And then there's just a tiny bit of creme fraiche, so you've got that acidity and the richness of the fresh prawn.
spoon I have back at home. It is a mother of pearl spoon you use specifically for caviar. Oh my god, look at that. Okay, the caviar service has started and we've got a basket of bread. Firstly, we've got garlic bread, we've got a white roll, looks like a multi-grain roll, and then like a seeded roll, balsamic vinegar, butter, pepper, salt, sparkling water, crew champagne. We've got blinis, creme fraiche, egg white and egg yolk. Wow. I mean, what more can you ask for? Okay, I'm gonna grab some of that creme fraiche. Some egg yolk, egg white, and oh my god, itadakimasu. I already had so much caviar when I was in Centurion Lounge earlier today, but they pale in comparison to the quality of these caviar. Oh my god, that is amazing. And the blini's warm. Get more of the egg yolk. Get the egg white. Here's the thing, the wonderful cabin crew said, you know what, the serving side's not that good, so why don't we have another serving of the caviar? So I can actually take the photo this time, because I forgot to take a photo the first time because I was so excited to be eating caviar again. So, but this time I'll remember to take a photo. I will, I promise. Caviar. Look at that. This is how we should start every meal. Thank you very much. Oh yes. The Chinese selections here. We've got a soup. Let's taste it. Oh, it is so sweet. You can taste the fish more in here. I don't know what the base is. It's chicken and pork bones that's been cooked for a long time. You've got fish more, and you've got this green vegetable. It's like a bok choy. Pak choy. It's like a pak choy. Oh, let's get a little bit of that fish more. Oh, it's gelatinous, it's chewy, and there's a crunch to it. It's really nice. Okay, now let's try a little bit of that jellyfish and chicken. Oh, the jellyfish has been dried and rehydrated, so it's like jellyfish bubblegum. It normally doesn't have much flavor and it absorbs whatever marinade it's been in, and this one has chili and sesame oil. This is really good. And there's a bit of chili on the side. Good. The main course is served. We've got fried rice. What's that? There's lots of vegetables. I wonder what it's fried with. god. We could eat this rice by itself. Lots of vegetables. Oh, that is so flavorful. I'm going to try the abalone first. Braised abalone, prawn mousse and water chestnut in a bean curd parcel, shimeji mushrooms, salted fish and vegetable rice. That's why this rice is so good. It's salted fish and vegetables. That's why it's so yummy. Red braised Iberico pork belly with radish. It's soy, it is umami, it's salty, it's sweet, it's rich. Oh my goodness, it is so good. I also taste a very, very subtle hint of vinegar. Imagine you need some sharpness to cut through the richness and fattiness of this pork belly. I have flown first class with so many airlines, and I'm only going to compare the Asian airlines, like for like, but the food, the catering for Cathay has surpassed any other airline I've ever eaten with, whether it's an economy, business, first, or suites. I'm also including Singapore in that. This is possibly the best meal I've ever had in an airplane. It's a big haul because I've flown a lot and I've eaten a lot. And on the pork, very thinly shredded pieces of ginger that's been deep fried. Oh, so good. Ooh. So the captain actually said before we pushed back earlier that we're going to experience a fair amount of turbulence throughout our flight across China. But once we clear China, it's fine. 30 hours and 55 minutes since I left home, and we are en route to Paris, so we are so much closer to finally reaching London. I'm having the most incredible and delicious meal I've ever had in a plane. Big call. Cathay Pacific has set the new benchmark. Just flown over Zhejiang. It looks like a mountainous region. That could explain why there's so much turbulence. I'm seriously so full. I'm about to explode. And they've been topping up my crew. I suspect I've gone through an entire bottle by myself.
It's currently 32 hours and 17 minutes since I left home. Crikey. I think it's time for bed. Good night.
Baby, it's a big dark world. You don't need to know about that. Don't need to know about that. I'll protect you with my lies. You don't need to know about that. Don't need to know about
Ooh, shaky. We have an hour before landing, and I think we're slowly coming down, and I see a lot of cloud cover, which unfortunately means I won't be able to get some beautiful footage or videos of Paris as we come in. Ooh. And breakfast is served. There's a nice pomegranate juice. Oh, and beetroot. Pomegranate and beetroot. And we've got fruit. I love papaya. I love dragon fruit. Croissant, don't mind if I do. It'd be rude not to have a croissant considering we're just about to land into Paris. Ooh, it's good muesli. Have a look at this. There are raisins, oats, hazelnuts, and cashews. That's a good muesli. This is nice sweetness. That's lovely. Ooh, the yogurt looks great. We've got some raspberries, some goji berries. Is that peach? I'm not too sure. There's some chia seeds on this as well. Oh, that's beautiful yogurt. This meal can only set you up for the perfect day. So we have congee, which is rice porridge, or as we say it in Hokkien, moi. I'm going to start with, I'm not too sure what that is. How do they have dim sum in the air? I'm going to dip it into that guilin chili sauce. Whenever it comes to onboard catering, always go with the airline's native cuisine. I can't believe that I'm currently flying over Augsburg in Germany, 37,000 feet, having dim sum and porridge. Life does not get any better than this. Okay, let's see what this is. It's like a chai koi. So there's crispy Chinese turnip, which is sweet and crispy. And then there's pieces of pork in here as well. And tiny bits of shiitake mushrooms. This looks like a beef siu mai. Oh, I love my chili sauce. All in one. This could be a hakao, which is like a prawn dumpling. Now, siu mai, pork dumpling. Oh, so good, and I'm so full. Okay, let's swap that around. We'll move the moi over here, and be sure to tip in the ginger and the spring onions. Taste before you season. We do have soy sauce on the side, so if this is not seasoned well enough, I've got that on the side. It's very well flavored. It's fish congee. I'm going to add a bit of soy though. A bit of soy. And we normally have in Malaysia, we have white pepper that we have over. There's black pepper here. There we go. Us Malaysians love pepper. Oh, mix that all up.
some chunky pieces of protein in here. I think there's fish. It looks like cod. And then I think there's a massive piece of chicken in here as well. Okay. And peanuts. Now, the peanuts here are going to be either boiled or steamed, so they're not going to be crunchy. They are crunchy. I'm truly in my happy place right now. Oh my god, there's jellyfish in here. There's jellyfish in my moi. We're arriving early. We're landing about 6:50, and my Eurostar does not leave till 1 o'clock. Originally, I was thinking that I would grab my luggage, go into Paris and walk around, have a delicious lunch. But after this breakfast, after the meals I've had on this plane, I'm so full. We've got 42 minutes left before we land. I've just had an incredible breakfast, as you well saw. And dare I say it, the best first class flight I've ever had. More so about the soft product, about the service levels and the human contact, the human experience. Phenomenal. This airline, this crew has set the new benchmark for service levels.
Welcome to Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport. Even though I'm headed to London on the Eurostar in a few hours, I'm seriously so excited to get my first taste of France. Don't worry, I will actually be visiting Paris in a few weeks. I'd like to quickly comment on this travelator. It's spongy and soft. It's almost like walking on hardened foam. It's a very strange sensation. If you had large and heavy luggage, you may potentially struggle to pull along this travelator. I want to share with you this thank you card and box of chocolates I received from the crew of my flight. This wasn't thanks for the little foodie gifts I gave. This is not why I give out the gifts on each flight. I don't expect this at all, but I do appreciate the gratitude.
Got through immigration in literally 5 seconds. Gave the passport stamp, easy as pie. So, time for another time check. 42 hours, 39 minutes since I left home. Another 18 hours before I reach my final destination. I'm knackered.
After clearing immigration customs, I started the commute to Paris. This involved taking the RERB train service to Gare du Nord. I had to make my way to Terminal 3, where I bought a ticket and found a single seat on a very packed commuter train. In the next shot, the cabin looks empty because everyone got off the train station before, and I could finally get my phone out. Once I got to Gare du Nord, the station was so large I got lost for a good 20 minutes. I have no idea how, but I somehow went out the side entrance, which wasn't an issue with me as the air was crisp and cool, and I was in Paris, baby! Nothing could dampen my mood. Or so I thought. What can I say about Gare du Nord except wow, wow, wow. Seriously, one of the most stunning train stations I've ever seen. Located in the 10th arrondissement, it serves northern France as well as Belgium, Germany, the Netherlands, and the UK. What wasn't stellar was the lack of seating at the station. It was a joke seeing so many people sitting on the dirty floor. After standing for over 2 hours, I finally found a seat, but gave it up when I saw an elderly lady needing one. Unfortunately, things didn't improve when I checked into my Eurostar service 90 minutes before departure, invited to go through immigration and then wait in the waiting lounge. Waiting lounge is actually a PC way to describe the absolute disaster, which is the Eurostar human farm cage. It was farcical. Like the rest of Gare du Nord, the people in this lounge were sprawled all over the place and sitting on the floor. What compounded the absolute joke was the fact that on this day, they were undergoing maintenance on one of the escalators from the lounge to the platform. As such, everyone was directed to the single travelator at the back of the lounge. As you can imagine, when our train was called, there was a surge, a human tsunami, if you like, to the back of the lounge. When you watch YouTube or read reviews about how wonderful and amazing Eurostar is compared to flying, what you're not told is when things go wrong, they go terribly wrong. This part of my marathon journey was an absolute low point. So much so, I actually cancelled my London St Pancras to Paris return on Eurostar and decided to buy a business class ticket on British Airways instead.
So it is currently 49 hours and 39 minutes. So that's 49, almost 50 hours ago I left home. So 50 hours ago I left Melbourne to Hong Kong, 17-hour transit in Hong Kong, then Hong Kong to Charles de Gaulle, and now I'm on Eurostar to London. Oh, I'm knackered.
Thankfully, everything turned around once I boarded the Class 374 Siemens Bolaro E320 train. Bright, spacious and calm, a far sight from what it was like mere moments earlier. The French countryside was absolutely stunning. Lush, verdant lands whizzed by, dotted by rural towns. I often find myself imagining, fantasizing what it would be like to live in one of these small towns. Eurostar services are broken into 3 classes: Standard, Standard Premier and Business. I was seated in Standard Premier, which boasts the same seat as Business, but without Business Lounge access and without the 3-course meal by Michelin-starred chef. Before long, complimentary lunch was served, a simple but delectable meal of couscous with falafel, bread roll, custard puff, and a truly quaffable Minervois red wine. I was very impressed. You could have asked for more wine, but I limited to 1 small bottle as the responsible adult that I am.
Hi there.
I just don't know what I'm going to do. I feel like
The 2 hours and 15 minutes whizzed by, and before I knew it, we had emerged on UK soil and touching down into good old London. It is so good to be back. Arriving at near peak hour into St Pancras station, I now had to make by foot the 4.5 miles to my accommodation. I checked an Uber and cab and it was going to cost £45, so I decided to walk instead.
Oh my god. It is time for the final time check. It is currently 56 hours and 16 minutes and 53 seconds. So that is 56 hours, 16 minutes and 53 seconds from the point I left home to arriving and checking into my hotel here in London. I haven't done a commute this long before. I think the previous long one was 43 hours when I did Melbourne to Singapore, Singapore to Copenhagen, Copenhagen to London. But this is by far the longest I've ever done. Did not help that the transit in Hong Kong was 17 hours. Now, I am genuinely excited to be in London. I love this city and I'm so glad to be back here. I would be lying if I am not tempted by this bed and the pillows and the cushions because I'm so tired. I did not sleep on the flights at all. The entire time I was in Paris, just waiting for the 4 or 5 hours before I could catch my train. It was just grueling. There was nowhere to sit. It was painful. Seriously, Gare du Nord is a terrible, terrible place if you are there exceptionally early, because you cannot just go in to the Eurostar waiting area till your train is called to check in, which is usually 90 minutes before your departure. And then once you get into the departure hall, oh my goodness, that's another kerfuffle after all. There are not enough seatings in there for all the trains which are leaving. I have flown a lot of airlines around the world, in economy, in premium economy, in business, in first, and in suites. I'm gonna say this now, Cathay Pacific has become my number 1 airline for first class. The service I received was exemplary. They were professional, yet they were personal. They were not prescriptive, but they gave a level of service that was beyond expectations. Unlike other airlines where you could tell that they're almost prescriptive, that they were following a script, that perhaps they were following a process, they were doing a Gantt chart, yes, no, if this, do this, if this, do that. Almost robotic for some of those airlines, but the crew on Cathay Pacific first class for my flight was singularly my new benchmark on first class service. I'm sorry if I'm not eloquent or if I seem rather jumbled and disconnected. It's just that my brain is disconnected from my mouth at the moment. I am not processing much. I have been up for way too many hours. I shouldn't sleep, but I need to now jump in that shower because I need to wash the hours of flight and exhaustion of my body. Then I need to get out there. The sun is still shining. As you can see, that is all natural sunlight. I need to get vitamin D. I need to follow the new time. My body is still in Melbourne time, but I need to get out there in the sun and reset my circadian cycle to local London time. And then I'm catching up with a friend for dinner and then drinks and maybe a little bit of pub or club action later tonight, just so that it can get me to a proper sleeping time. I just would like to thank each and every one of you for joining me on this massive 56-hour trek. It is enormous, it is exhausting, and I hope never ever to do another flight like this again. But if you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. Leave a comment if you've done such a long journey or if you've done one that's longer. And let me know everything about your experience. If you're new here, g'day, I'm Tim. I make food, travel, and lifestyle related content. If you've stayed to this point, you obviously enjoyed the video, so I would truly appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification button, because you will then be notified whenever I upload new content. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining me. I look forward to sharing my European adventure with you. Hooray!